As somebody that has worked with lots of different customers around the world, if you could change just one thing about how schools approach technology adoption, what would it be? What would be on your wish list?
There would be two things. There would be a champion from the top of the organization. We see a lot of senior leaders in organizations who sort of allow technology conversations to happen all across a district or an entity, and it leads to sprawl. And it's prevalent today in many of the school districts that we see that have redundant technology. And I think it's incumbent upon those leaders to sort of figure out which ones overlap and eliminate those. We're in, especially in the US, we're in a world right now where budgets are very tight, and there are unnecessary dollars being spent on redundant systems. And I would just encourage the leaders to look at it that way and to dig deeply into what they have to ensure that they don't have redundancy. And because obviously a single view of everything the students are doing across a school or a district is better than disparate views with data that doesn't match. And so I would say examining your technology and making sure that you are as streamlined as possible. That may sound a little counterintuitive coming from a vendor, but we do see it, and it's a little heart-wrenching sometimes to see that budgets are having to be cut, but they aren't necessarily always cut in the right way. Certainly would rather reduce redundant systems than have to eliminate teachers, just as an example. And so I would say championing it from that perspective, but I would also say take an active learning mindset. Study after study and research after research proves that anything you can do to create an active learning environment, whether that's in the classroom or video or however you want to do it, is a better outcome and leads to learning in a better way. So, I think it's incumbent upon the vendors too, though, Chris. I mean, just to counter your question, it's not just about what the customers need to do, but it's also about what the vendors need to do to make sure that we are supplying them with the most intuitive and the best technology, and creating technology that has both breadth and depth, or integrates in so that they can have depth in every area. It's easy for those of us that are competitors to put walls up and say, well, you can buy ours, but ours may only be good in two areas, and there may be something else they need it's better in other areas. And it's incumbent upon us to make sure that we're also providing things in a way that you can easily put together the right technology to create the workflow that you need. So we're all in it together. I really do believe that. We're all competitive with one another on the vendor side, but I have great relationships with CEOs of competitive companies, and we all think the same way. It's really that a sense of responsibility that we have to not make it so much about a competition, but make it about what's best for the customer. Because at the end of the day, that means better outcomes for the students.